Hi.
How you doing, sir?
How are you?
Alex Durr, pilot here at DFW.
Yeah.
Thanks for the lunch. You know, I've always enjoyed coming into work. I enjoy the work environment. We have to be flexible sometimes. I live here, I'm based here, so I really don't have an issue sometimes. But, you know, just like in our profession, we have to accept not zero defects, but zero accidents.
Yeah.
You might, I don't know if we got a good deal on this hotel people that we contract with to get hotel rooms. If you guys got a good deal, that's nice, but there seems to be a lot of issues. It might not seem like a big thing, but you know, to the crew member who has to wait for a room for whether it's hours or nights, it just seems like there could be a little more attention to detail towards this hotel assignment thing and stuff.
Okay, well, tell me more. First off, I agree with you, and the team agrees with you completely. Hotels are an incredibly important part of your work life, and therefore we spend a lot of time and attention to detail and efforts. Again, one of these things I'll ask you to acknowledge that it's not the amount of hotel rooms that we're purchasing, and particularly in irregular operations and having to move people, is not an easy thing, but that's our job to do, and our team works really hard on it. And we spend enormous amounts of effort. We spend well above the contractual amounts. We work with the APA all the time to make sure that we're doing what's best for our pilots and flight attendants within, kind of the market and competitive forces that are placed in, hotels that actually have enough rooms. So we spend tons of time on this. So can you give me some specifics about where you're?
Well, just from what I'm reading, on the internet, the Book of Face, there's crews that get reassigned. Facebook, the Book of Face. Crews getting stuck someplace, and then the transportation is irregular. Matter of fact, I'm in class with a few people that went to an off-site hotel that we usually don't use, and they had issues with transportation and things. I mean, we're not the man in the Ritz or anything like that.
Yeah, right.
But whoever handles that stuff, back in the old days, we could go out, if they couldn't get us a room within a certain amount of time, boom, we'd get it ourselves and get reimbursed and all that. Now, I don't have any specifics to give you, but whatever you're hearing, from your hotel guy, no offense, I don't know him, I don't know her.
Well, you're going to hear from him in a second.
And again, it's just a handful, but to those handful of people, man, that can ruin their and then lead to fatigue issues and missed flights and stuff. I mean, I want us to be one big happy family and all, so I just thought I'd pass this word along. But
I appreciate it, and I'm going to pass this baton over to Sam, who's going to talk to you about all the things we were doing in this regard. What's some exciting news?
Hi, I'm the hotel guy.
He's not really. He's
Brother.
he runs all of crew resources.
Actually, Sam Mendenhall, I'm the managing director of crew scheduling, and under that element, I do have the hotel lemo desk, which is what you're talking about, which is the group that helps our crew members when they have a situation with their, that's not the assigned hotel on a normal line, right? And so I appreciate you bringing up the issue, first of all, and want you to know, first and foremost, that our main concern is knowing that our teammates, our crew members, are in distress when they're out there, because when you're calling us, it's because you have a problem, right? And so how do we take care of that problem as quickly as possible? The reason why we brought in Travel Alliance, who you're referring to, is because of the technology that they brought. Now, one of the things that was brought up earlier was how fast we could get technology in. They brought some of that technology more quickly, and now we've got some of that implemented, at least the phase 1 that went in October 1st. What that technology does is it allows our agents, which is what we call them in the IOC, to process those rooms more quickly now than they were able to do in the past. One of the other exciting things that we were happy to launch in October, and we've only had a chance to use it a couple times, is the Biz Hero application. Hopefully you've heard a little bit about that. You mentioned before that if you got stuck somewhere and because of an IROP, maybe the wait times were long, you could go book your own hotel room and then get reimbursed. What we've done is take the reimbursement process out of that. And so when we turn on that Biz Hero tool, you get a notice and it says, go ahead, book your own hotel room. Here's the link. Here's the contractual hotels that are in order. Or if those are full, here's the other hotels down below. You choose. That goes and gets booked automatically to the company, and you go right to the hotel. You don't have to wait online anymore. And so we did have a chance to turn that on in DFW. We turned that on in the event that happened, I believe it was October 14th. We had weather over DFW. and had about 75 of our crew members book their own rooms rather than wait in line. Now, the wait times were we got up to about 20 minutes that night. And in some cases, we had a couple calls that went 30 minutes. But overall, if we can get you into a room faster, then just like you said, we get our crews rested, we avoid fatigue events, and we're a safer airline, plus we're taking care of each other. And that's really what our focus is. We do know that in some situations, we get crews stuck out and we have a transportation company that doesn't show up even though they were assigned. We're working on our end to make sure that we assure that that communication process and those transportation needs are met. And then we also address follow-ups with the vendor when those transportation companies don't show up or a hotel doesn't, even though we know they have a room, they're giving you an issue at the desk. We hear the feedback from our partner in the APA who has the hotel, Andrew Zahn, and we work with him on a monthly basis on those issues. And then we follow up with the hotels, or we follow up with my team to say, here's how we could have handled that better to take care of our crew members. So a lot of good things happening there, and I fully expect we will have continuous improvement on this, and you'll see improvements over time.
So Sam, let me just ask you a couple questions so I fully understand. I think I do. When you say we had the opportunity to turn it on, what that means is this is a new tool that we use only when we see really long wait times, where your team can't service the pilots and flight attendants as well as we'd like because there's some large disruption, right? And we just haven't had many of those, thankfully, over the last few months since you've had this tool in place. But you turn it on when you see wait times getting up in the 20, 30-minute range, is that?
That is correct.
So, okay, so what that should say, hopefully for all of us, is you shouldn't find yourself, no one should find themselves waiting much longer than 20 and 30 minutes, because once that happens, we'll turn on this Biz Hero tool, which allows any team member to then go online through their personal device and book a hotel on their own and not worry about being reimbursed and be on their way instead of waiting for someone to do that for them 30 minutes later.
Yeah, and that is correct. And I want to reiterate that isn't an option, right? If you feel like you need to speak to somebody,
sure, of course,
more than willing to do that. But for those who could just want to go get a hotel, that's there for you.
Yeah, and then the question before it's asked is if we have that tool, why don't you just have it in place all the time instead of waiting until we have 30-minute delays? I know the answer to this, but
okay.
The answer is because we have hotel rooms. Because
I'm sorry. Yeah, I wasn't being facetious. Yeah, it's because we have hotel rooms blocked, and we've already paid for those rooms. And what we want to do is make sure that we get you into the rooms that we paid for. Right? That's better for all of us from a company perspective. And if those wait times are short, great. If this grows organically over time when we get to that spot, great. But for right now, we want to use those allocated rooms the most efficiently possible. But if we get in a situation where the wait's too long, better service is to get you guys into rest as quickly as possible.
And how does a pilot or flight attendant know that the tool has been turned on?
A couple different ways. If you are already on hold, right, waiting for the hotel limo desk, there will be a message played to you while you were on hold that says, the tool is on. You can either choose to keep waiting or you can go.
All right.
Then if you have just called in to the IVR, to the crew phone, there will be a message up front saying the tool is on if you'd like to use it. And then there's also a CCI message that goes out. So there's 3 ways you should be able to know that that is on. And in each one of those, it kind of directs you how you get to the link and then go book your hotel room.
Great. Good stuff, hotel guy.
There is, at this point, in one of the future phases, there will be an app for that. But that is not where we are right now. What comes out in the CCI message is a link to go to the live website that has the corporate card already attached to it.
Good stuff. Thanks, Sam. Thanks for asking, sir. Michelle's telling me we have time for one more. Anyone have anything else pressing that they would like to ask?